part 2C. Part 2C. This is wonderful. I'm so excited about the testimony of our brother, the journey into technical word. So this particular one will be a journey to a technical word, a journey. We have gotten to a very part of it, of joining the drama ministry, and we want to hear his own challenges, his challenges in the area. How did he discover? How did he discover what he needed to do? How did he discover how it's been done? How did he discover that, oh, these are the things that is needed to be done? How did he discover those things? And one of the things is, as a child of God, one must learn something about principles of life. You know, principles of life doesn't come with ease. Principle of life doesn't come with what everybody wants to hear. Principle of life comes with experiences. And one of the things I tell people is that principles don't change. The Lord opened my eyes to this and to know that principles don't change. Principles don't change, but method will always change. And I was talking about it. I said, you know, when when he was doing his assignment, when he came into the assignment, there is a place for him to fit in. There is a place for him. God has ordained for him to fit in into the work. There is a place for him, and like I said, everybody is fitted, joined together, just like the eyes. You can only see that the eyes is seeing, but something at the back of the eyes is sending the light for the eye to see. Everybody will celebrate it for the retina. People have to talk about it. Look at the mouth. The mouth is moving, but something is connected here that is making the mouth work. And that's one of the things in ministry. And when you don't understand this, you suffer long. You suffer long and longer. Welcome back, Brother Femi. Abraham. Welcome back, Brother Femi. Can you tell us how you discover yourself, the area you have to fit in? How did you come to understand the area you have to fit in?
Yeah, thank you. Well, at the ministerial level, when I started the area of acting. Actually, I'm a person who the leader understood that I was a musically inclined fellow, but he was trying to see other area because I don't believe too much in all those drama things. I don't understand what they are doing there. So that time I'm trying to blend with what they are doing because I don't really have real experience in that area of ministry. What I told my wife after I got married was that she said, am I going to be part of the ministry and this and okay, when we're cutting, that what's our future going to look like? I said, what do you do in the ministry? Explain everything you do there. Let me know. I said, provided that it is Jesus Christ you are propagating, count me in. And that was it all. So by the time I discovered that everything they do, what remains for me? What's that thing? What am I looking for? They said we should preach the gospel throughout the world. What channel? What other channel? What test do I have to be looking for? Then that was a good place for me to really do the work of the master. So then, the leader was like, apart from that my area, let's see other area to bring, to spice up my interest, because he discovered that I was a little bit passive about the drama. I was only doing some things just based on that. Since Jesus Christ is being mentioned, let's go there. That was my attitude then. I don't know whether if I know or I don't know how to do this, let me just, provided there is Jesus Christ, I will just follow. I will just follow him. I don't really understand 100%. My understanding was like maybe 40 or thereabout or less of the whole thing in the ministry.
Because of your love for God.
Yeah.
So simply, it's because of your love for God, for the things of God, you are just doing your own thing. You say, well, let me just I practically saw a lot of things, and like you said, that we've known before then, and we coming back together. I remember the days of cyber cafe. In
Yeah.
fact, when you reminded me of, you took us to cyber cafe, you are teaching us internet. You are teaching. I was like, when? Were you there? I can't remember a lot of things. But I know I took people to cafe, but I can't remember exact people I took there. I can't remember.
It was
But you know, when you begin
the
to
one
say
I
some
enjoy
things,
most
I was like,
was
okay,
night.
there must be a reason. Sir?
The one I enjoy most was the night browsing. 250. Night browsing. We will not sleep.
Yes, 250. For like from 12 to 5 or from 12 to 7. Wow. And there is no mistake in God. That's what I've realized. For what you're saying, there is no mistake in God. Coming to meet your family, coming to meet people, coming to meet, and later when you now told me that you acted during the Deeper Life, very short drama, you can't even remember.
Yeah.
I said, wow.
Pilgrim,
But I said, wow. It's
pilgrims.
just like
Pilgrims. Like the short drama was like pilgrims.
a Pilgrim's Progress.
Progress. I was the one who acted the devil, because I'm tall. So they will always make tall people to act devil, arm robber, all those kind of a thing. Angel.
Or
So I was
Angel.
the devil. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Now, having discovered that, okay, apart from music, apart from the drama, the stage drama, how do you come to the world of film production? I know you have been, from what you said, okay, I've attended this. How do you come to the world of film production? How do you identify? How are you able to blend writing because you love writing?
Oh.
Poetic, very strong in poetic pattern, very strong in oratory, explaining things in rhyming, like motivational rhyming, with very sound biblical doctrine infusing into it. How do you come to this filmmaking world?
Yeah. Actually, there are certain things divine deposit in me before I came to the Lord was preparing me. Inside of me, then I was like, where am I going to exhibit? I understood that I don't have to show if it is not my show. So I don't always try to show anywhere I go anyhow. I know a lot of things it was preparing me for was meant to be used somewhere, but I never knew the place. So I was waiting for my time of manifestation. So when I got into the ministry, I discovered that there were a lot of different departments in the ministry. Actually, to be precise, I went to the SEDU, the school, the Sword of Excellence Drama Film University, and that school was all encompassing. If you knew nothing about it, like somebody like me, it will open your. If you are very productive, you are the type that is very creative. Yes, it will bring out that creativity and channel it for the kingdom, and that was what the school did for me. I listened to a lot of lecturers. They were just divinely sent. Lecturers like during our time, Femi, Paul-Esupofo, who was
Emmanuel Sanyaolu.
Sonyaolu Emmanuel. Then another lecturer that made me to smell pepper was Gloria Folashade Abraham. I just got wedded. I was meant to be having my honeymoon. Then, she has told me that, do you want to do this? I said I wanted to do this. I never knew she'd be lecturing me. And in the class, I was always making everybody lively, making them to laugh and all that. She just asked me to stand up. You stand up. For a long time, I was thinking, is it a joke or am I dreaming? Your new husband, Manny. So
because you are breaking the rule of the class.
Yes. I thought you were still at home. Then I understood that school had the standard, they had the principle and the discipline, irrespective of who you are. The standard is just there. It's that to be maintained, whether you are married, whether your wife is the one lecturing or not. Then I understood that this is a big business. It's a serious business. It's a kingdom business. Then I was able to listen to different classes, and it's all encompassing to shaping you Then out of whatever you have been taught, then you'll be able to bring out that exact one the Lord want to strengthen you. It was there I realized that the media will be my strength because I love, I love things, a computer, anything system based. I love things like that. I know that I will have strength in media, even though I got it in acting. So I was able to polish my acting skill also. It helped me a lot. Then I was also afforded to go into the media and also have a glimpse of the script writing. Naturally, I'm a writer also. You know, I do a lot of poetic writing. I compose music, but the media also was also in my head.
Yeah.
So I never knew that polishing this together, bringing them together will be of great use for the kingdom at the end of the day. So bringing all these things together, when I needed to use this, I will, exhibit this. When I need to use another one, I will bring it out. But I had to go through training. So it was there I started from the SEDU. Then also when we go into the ministry proper, we do a lot of training in the ministry. Our own kind of, the ministry is not the type of, oh yeah, every time you meet, let's come and do Dama Riaza. We hardly do Dama Riaza like that until when there is need for it. So most of the time we pray, we study the Bible, and I love those areas, and also technicalities. So we were being built up, in those areas. So gradually it was improving me. We always have time where we do shooting. We do shooting. In the process, whenever we invite an expert, a professional, to help in the ministry, I understudied them in certain area. In the process, I was growing. Deliberately. The leader, the man, we invite people, and in the process, we were learning. We were learning at that stage. We were learning. He will teach us whatever he could teach us. At times, we invite people also, and we were learning. And before long, I became what it is today by God's grace.
I was following you and I was imagining things. I met somebody recently at Erua who came to teach them how to edit on phone. And I look at the editing, fantastic. But I'm still looking at some things. I said, well, this revelation of a thing, I think out of millions of people around the world that this revelation was given, I think our ministry, we are blessed to be given that revelation. Because how do you come about using phone, doing those wonders? Because even to me, let me be sincere with you, the first time I saw some of the things you have done through phone, it was a mystery. And thank God for the grace and the largeness of art. I would have said, she really lands on. You see this kind of editing we are talking. But because I know what editing is and I know what it means, I was so glad to embrace it. To say, wow, this is a bit step further than what has come to the ministry. How do you just suddenly become, how do you suddenly add or being added to your strength? With what you have said with composition, now you are using phone like a mysterious man. You have been known from the baby as a mysterious man. You went to grandpa's room to read what other people don't understand.
Yeah.
So you have been known as a mysterious person. How do you now come using phone, smartphone for that matter?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Actually, it all started at the SEDU. I was being inspired. One of the class, we watched a film titled Link with Deity. We were told that Paul-Esupofo and his group then, he came up with that idea, and it was a wonderful thing. It was shot with phone. I wondered, I said, phone? Of course, at that time, I never knew anything about camera. So I was wondering, phone, inside of me, when I get back home, I got that spiritual insight. Immediately he said that thing. The spiritual insight came to me. You need to start working on that. That is what I want you to do. So when I got home, I started doing all sort of research. You know what I was told was that they shot with phone, not edited with phone. So I never knew. You know,
That's what he said.
yeah, there was no editing with phone, nothing. So the Lord was not telling me shooting with phone. He was telling me editing. And we have never had it, maybe anything like that. I was only being encouraged. So I told my wife that I need to do something about this. So then it was when, you know, we just started using Android phone. You know, we came from Java to Android. So that time I just bought Android. So this Android, can this thing be wasted like this? Just to be making call and browsing? What other thing can we do with the, you know, this Android phone? So then, eventually I started researching. Now, one area where I explored so much was the Play Store, who was the general market of the Android. I downloaded quite a number. I didn't know anything what I will write. I just write video editing. I just type it in, started all applications that it brought to me. I downloaded more than 30 different applications, experimenting. Some will spoil your phone, some will corrupt your phone, some will. I have examples. See phones, all spoils. I kept all of them.
Wow.
I think I edited one of the film that you shot at Mount Zion about Maranatha.
Okay, Maranatha, one of the films.
Then there was one we shot for the Full Stature.
Yes, the Demon's Harvest.
I edited it on this before it crashed.
That we shot at that place.
Yeah. So some of them, you know, they can get spoiled. I kept experimenting, seeing what's until I arrived. I got an insight about one of them, KineMaster Pro and Cyberlink Power Director. So I discovered that they are much more professional than the rest, and they are much more all-in-one than the rest. And I started that time. The application itself doesn't have so much like they are having today.
Like now.
Yeah, so you will have to do this inside that application. You go to another application to go and do another to achieve. You can use for one film, you will use about 10 applications to achieve what, unlike today now, all alone, all in one, I can just achieve what I want to achieve on that application. They were also coming up gradually. So then that was how I started. Then what really was the spur of the moment was when I discovered this KineMaster and the Cyberlink Power Director. I did the first shoot with my phone, and that should be Oshunweke. That should be Oshunweke.
Yeah.
I did it. In fact, it was not a full. It was not. It was like a 4x3. It was like a 4x3 then. So
it was not even SD.
Yes, not even. So I did it. I just combined. It was a combination of 4x3 by full HD. Somehow it was just like that. So then but Paul wasn't around that time. He traveled. So I had to send to him that, wow, I've got something. I sent to him. Now his attitude was like accommodating. He knew those things were not perfect by a filmmaker perspective. I don't even know most of the rules then, but I knew a little bit, you know. So I was just trying to, he saw it and he encouraged, and you know his nature. Everything is always possible. So it was like the way we put you like, yes, the next thing, he was charging me, and in the process, I was challenged to improve, not to be sitting down on the little one I thought I knew. So by and by, production after production, I was improving. Then the developers of the application also were improving the application. Then I was having better knowledge about it. And in fact, I don't even know, that time I've not been trained in camera works. So at smartphone, if I'm doing anything wrong, my leader will just try to, this is how the framing will look like. So mine was learning on how do you call it?
On the job.
On the job.
Learning on the job.
Yes.
Hands-on learning.
Yes, learning on the job. So one of the days we had another Sedu, and he's been talking. We had a camera then. We bought a camera, and it's like I was afraid to go to move closer to the camera because I didn't even know it looks more complicated and more complex to me as compared to the phone. So he was always telling me that, yes, try and do this. But one day he was in the class, he wasn't there. I said, Paul is not here. This thing that he always talked about, God, let me sit down. So I sat down and opened it. The thing opened. I pressed, the thing pressed. I said, this thing look like the phone. The framing looked like the something. No, and I came to the school that time about 5 scripts. So I picked up the camera and I started shooting with camera using different all sort of lenses with the camera, just coming from the background of usage of phone. So the phone is a basic tool that can take you anywhere. It's a basic tool because I didn't have any other extra knowledge about the camera. It was what I had in the usage of the phone that I used for the basic camera. And also, whenever I shoot anything on the camera, I can always take it to the phone and edit. I can shoot with the phone and edit. And that was how it all started.
Yeah, I also remembered, as you're talking, I also remembered that having shot, we now begin to have this SMS, all these SMS.
Short movie series.
Short movie series. The one that was shot with phone edited on laptop. Shot with phone, edited on phone. Shot
with camera.
Shot with camera. That was the first time in the history, if you want to put it in history of Christian drama, I would say the Set Me incorporated with the help of God in the life of Femi Abraham first experimented shooting with camera and putting it on phone for edit. Nobody has ever, to the best of my knowledge, nobody has ever done that. And I was called and said, wow, Set Me has broken another record again. I said, what is it again? He said, just tried it now, putting the 7D footage, the camera at that time by Sam Idowu. He came from Ghana at that time. He was like, take this camera, go and use it. And that was a short series.
I think that it was
Justice the Lord. Justice the Lord. Take was the first one in the school, right?
Yeah.
In the school. And later these other short
our corrective series, corrective series. I just did a re-editing. I just finished it yesterday night. I re-edited those.
So, and that was
5 of them.
And in those days, I was like, it's good. It's good. Why I say it's good because I know it could be better.
Yeah.
So I always say it's good because I know it could be better.
Yeah.
And I know that there is no state we get to in life that we cannot achieve whatever we have gone to correct. And that's exactly like a prophecy in those days. It's like a prophecy in those days. And now, look at it now, you're already doing it. Cutting the beginning that looked cheesy, the beginning that was not really interesting. Yeah. Now removing them. Then definitely we have to go to our YouTube channel or some of our private something to also distribute it. If you escape the sword of Jehu, you cannot escape the sword of Elisha. Yeah. So if you not escape the sword of this one, you cannot escape the sword of excellence.
Yeah.
So that's yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
So that was how I started with the usage of phone, shooting with phone, and also editing with phone. And I also realized that I was growing as the developers of the applications are growing. I was growing because when I see a new thing, I try to lay my hand upon and see what we can. I always come. Then another thing that is a major strength is that in this area of media, you can't sit down holding your hands. I don't have to wait until when we get to Sedu or get to the ministry. The ministry take care of the spiritual aspects and the technical aspects also. But how many times do we come together as ministers? Do you understand? If you have 365 days, 365 days in a leap year, do you come together up to 200 days? Then what do you expend your life on for those hundreds of days? So I discovered that I need to develop myself by having a private practice. So I was always rehearsing. I will use my daughter to experiment. If I say anything, the chroma key and the rest, so that the day a big dog will come, oh, my wife is protesting that I didn't mention her name, that I miss her too. So I will use my wife.
Yes, because I was about going there that you have been saying my private thing, and you didn't tell me that sometimes they have to pass food to you like a high priest.
Ah, that area is another major area, sir. That area.
Because I was about asking the question, what are other challenges
Yes.
that you face in this production world?
Yes.
I think that's a very good, this is the right time. She has spoken the right time.
Yeah.
What are the other challenges? What are the challenges you face so much?
Yeah.
You know, as a father, as a husband, as a father, as a mentor to some people, they have to come to your house. They have to, as even now, a role model in this area of editing, not just a smartphone, because people thought it's only phone you know how to use. They don't know you even use other tools. Well, how do you cope as husband, as a friend, as a family man, as extended family? What are the challenges?
Yeah. This is Nigeria. Nigeria with challenges. The world with challenges. Mike Bamiloye recently said that we are not poor. We are not poor at all. But we always have needs. You know, we have challenges also in the ministry. So we cannot be exempted, really. It's one of those things we are made to face the challenge and overcome them. One of the major challenges I faced was the appropriate tool. Appropriate tool. For instance,
appropriate.
Yes, appropriate tool. Do you know we are professionals? Sometimes when we use certain things, we knew they are not the very best for it, but we use the available, whatever is available with us to.
When the desirables are not available, available becomes desirable.
So we use whatever is available. We use it to achieve. We have no excuse. And one of those days, some of those things we did were touching light. If we are waited, maybe those souls that were blessed wouldn't have been touched. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's very correct.
Now all these ones you are looking at, some of these phones are, they are not the very best for what we wanted. All these are,
but they are expensive in their respect at that time. They were actually expensive.
They are just expensive, but they are not appropriate because most people don't know the correct spec for this thing. All these ones we are looking at, they are all MediaTek based. That their chipset is not strong enough for what we want to really, but that is what is cheap. That is what we see around us in this part of the world, and we begin to use them. We use them. Sometimes we want to achieve certain. There's some application that we are download on them that won't really work well. Some of our work would have been better if they can accept those applications, but because they are limited, if that time we're having one of the best phones, you can imagine what our production will look like. There are quite a number of things that we needed that time. We're only managing some of those things, like we need some gears. If you have seen these white people doing smartphone, you will see kind of gears they use. They don't edit with they don't waste your time on editing because they have what it takes to edit on the system. They don't go into that. In fact, I've not been seeing online talk about editing with smartphone. You don't see much, but they're shooting with smartphone. And when they're talking about smartphone, they're talking about iPhone more. That this part of the world, most of the people here can't afford. Only few can afford it. And when you're talking about iPhone, you begin to tell people they'll be looking at you, iPhone.
My house rent for 1 year.
You can imagine that you want me to go and put it on phone. Thank you. They won't listen here, except you use what is within their confine. See how it can work, and that's exactly what we did. So the appropriate tools, apart from having a good phone, the appropriate phone, some other gears we needed to make the work to be so beautiful were not available. That was one major challenge. Another one was I love my family. It affected them some way. Why? Because the time I was to expend with them, we expended on, because it will take some time to pass through those processes. And my wife and children, we have to have a lot of understanding. When they want to talk with daddy, daddy is busy editing and doesn't want noise. Sometimes he puts headphone on his head, nobody to share with, and we are all alone together at home. And sometimes, because of the level of the phones I use, maybe 2 gig, 1 gig of those days, if I want to render work, it takes longer time, unlike today now. So I spend more time achieving a work than necessary, and in the process, it's cut me off from my family in a way, because it's this thing we are coming. But I thank God for the kind of wife I married. She's completely immersed into the ministry. She does all this with all understanding. If you're in the ministry and your wife is not supportive, I'm saying one of my guys, John Oguntu Ashe. That's one of those people that inspired, because when I watch sometimes I watch 1-0 in our current magazine. I think I wrote his name there. I just have to acknowledge that brother, that wonderful brother. I watched there was one that, is it 1-0, that they were playing football match, shot by.
It's 1-0.
1-0. Oguntu Ashe. Wow. I was wondering how could, with the aperture of the phone and all those things, how could he contain the movement of people, and it was giving us something reasonable. So those are the things. So one of the things that our spouses, if we have understanding spouse, wife, I tell you, it will help. It will help. We are going to the extraordinaries, not the conventional. Some of us generally we do the general. We still going to extraordinary, that some people say that there's no way. And some of us are still, vesting all our energy into it, seeing how we can use it to encourage others, not only for us, but also for people that cannot afford the standards. Then we bring in that gospel, that it will be available to everyone, touching every soul, every life, anywhere you are. So the kind of word I have, thank God for for understanding. Another problem,
projecting the standard with the available tool to develop on it when you have a better tool.
Yeah.
Can I put it that way?
Yes, exactly what happened.
Projecting the standard with the available tool.
Yes.
To expand when you have a better tool.
Yes.
That's good.
The day
all your words are inspiring me to say something.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Thank God this is being recorded. We have to write it out. The day we had camera, said me, only Brother Paul that knows how to adjust to work on camera, because we never had before that time. So he was encouraging us to start working on camera. Let me sit down with this phone. But we never knew we were ready for the camera. We never knew. I never knew personally that I was ready. Up to now, one of my boys, Shola, is studying media in school now. Now, it's the ministry has helped him so much. Last week, he was not around. They said that they want to do so and so. They invited him. He will be the one to handle the camera. They will invite him this thing that is living for. This is what he was living for. And when we had camera, I never knew I was ready to hold. I was afraid of the camera to hold it, to know, all this functionality, all these settings, where will I press now? Never knew that something like that, because going by the foundation of the phone, I never knew that I was ready for it. The day I handled the camera, that was the end of it. I just started using it and improving.
The thing you're actually afraid of is actually afraid of you.
It was right in me, and I didn't know. And I think this same thing affects many people, because recently Shola came home. He snapped a picture of a camera. I've never seen that kind of camera in my life. He said they brought it to where he's working. They said that Shola, oh yeah. He said it was looking like Lookman, looking at something. In fact, when I saw the camera, I don't even know the name. I said, what's the name? He says, sir, I cannot say the name. I don't even know the name. That the camera. See, I was looking. I can't. I said he doesn't know what to do. He snapped, and I said that please send that the picture of the camera to Brother Paul. I said that camera, it will. What I know is that we have stats where we press record. But what I would be looking for if I were you is that he was only amazed with the way the camera looked like. Say that no matter whatever camera, that was how we were trained. When we got to Uyo, we saw 5D Mark
5D Mark 2.
Mark 3.
Mark
He
2 or
didn't
Mark 3.
even tell me that preamble quickly. He just said, "Oh yeah, Brother Femi, begin to." I never used it before. As I handled it, I just understood it. That all those foundations were going to be helpful. So by the time I just say, okay, these are related things. If you know the basic thing, then you'll be able to now maximize what you have. So another issue was light. When you are editing, probably with the laptop. At times I edit with the laptop. At times with the phone. With the phone, you will have to. As I'm talking now, there's no light. I had to go and put on generator. The generator also misbehaved. I had to call the repairer. And instead of preparing for this program, I was with the generator repairer looking for old plug that can, you know, the mentality in Nigeria.
That jump start.
So when you started, I was already putting this on. I was with the generator. I putting this on. So you thought I wasn't there with the phone, so that you know that I'm online. I'm coming. So I went to fix some things, put on the light and the rest. Currently now I'm inserting a charger to the phone, so that to charge, because already the battery were flat already before we started. So we had issue with lights, and it's taking much more of our time. When there's no lights,
because the strength is supposed to use in preparation, you use the strength on repairing generator.
Yes. Another thing is that, you know, when you are preparing, you are doing all sorts of things. The time you will spend with your family, sometimes you want to hit all these things, you will just use it on how to get lights, power banks, all those things. It's a great challenge. We don't always have lights 24/7 in Nigeria. And if you are into media, it's always a great challenge that we need to really get over. Another issue that I have is I've been seeing leaders that say some discouraging things. You know, when I saw John Oguntoashe, I know is one particular person that is with this dream. But when you see another person like that, washing down what you are doing, and other people that are expected to pick up from what you are doing, because they have heard from a big gun saying certain negative thing about what you are doing, they lose interest. So by the time you are trying to convince them, trying to let them know, they watch it and say forget about it. If you are not a man of a large heart, you will not be able to continue with what you are doing. So most time I will employ.
If you are not a man with a large heart,
yes,
you will not be able to continue with the vision God has given to you.
Yes,
in doing it.
Yeah. So we must develop that large heart, because there will be discouragement from where you least expect. People that are in drama minister together, or people that are in the media world, shouldn't watch down what certain person is doing. You shouldn't watch it down.
So that comes to my quotes and the principle God has been helping the ministry to work on. What you don't understand, you don't condemn.
Exactly.
I remember when somebody, yes sir, you said something?
I said exactly.
So what you don't understand, you don't condemn. A brother came, he was like, using phone. Phone is not for serious people. His phone is not for serious people that are doing film. Serious film cannot be done with this. And all of a sudden, the white people came and they asked him to come and train their people on how to use smartphone. You remember the story?
Yeah. You
remember?
He now called back, brother Rapport.
So you remember the same brother was with us in Lagos, which was like looking at how do we do this. In a way, it was a threat. In a way, it was a threat. It was a threat for many of them, because they know that they will lose their job of editing. If you have been following us from the part 2A, you discovered there was a heavy noise of generator.
Yes.
They brought light. That was why the generator ceased from working, and that was why you have a piece.
Up NEPA.
That's because you get it now. Up NEPA, up Jesus, whatever we call it, when they bring it. But some of us have to rise up to solve the problem. Then when you look at it, that people don't understand what you're doing, it becomes a problem. And what you don't understand, you don't. Somebody said in a very close group and said, it's a waste of time and energy. using phone to shoot a movie. And when we are talking back in our ministry and we bring all these things up, it sounds like a discouragement in a way that, oh, look at these people. But like I said to them in one of the 2 conferences I've been to, I said, whether you like it or not, the future of filmmaking is coming back to phone. Because phone is different from phone. Can you say the kind of phone? Even with my phone, thank God. Look at this picture now. This picture we are looking at, very clean, right? We are using a professional light. You are using a professional light.
Yeah.
I'm using an iPhone for resolution. It's like you're not in Nigeria, because every time we have never had it this clean.
Yeah.
For somebody from within Nigeria, we have never had it this clean, because, and these are part of challenges. Internet, you didn't mention internet.
I was going
internet?
there. I was going there.
Okay, sir.
I was even going there. Yesterday, I was watching this program John Oguntoye had at Lagos. There was one program John Oguntoye had at Lagos. This media stuff.
Yes.
I redeem.
Media and arts.
Motion for
Lagos.
For mission. I was watching them live.
Yes.
I saw Femi Ota. I saw Sam Idowu. I saw Sam Idowu.
Yes, the pictures.
Now tell me, if I've been seeing the flyers before then. I've been seeing the flyers and all the, tell me if data to watch was not there. All this fluctuating data. I don't want to mention the network.
The service providers.
Yeah, I don't want to mention. I had to switch to another service provider because it was somehow itchy. So later on, I just got something, and I was, when somebody who said something, I was moved in my. He said that, look at it now. I was branding myself. My name is, when I started this song, I said Sam Idowu. I was already selling myself to you. That Sam Idowu is a brand, and I was like, wow. So Olufemi Brown too. I'm a branded person.
You are already.
Do you understand? So the way it was just, I said, okay, now just because of data of 500 naira, you can buy 500 or 200 naira. Your dreams could come to realization. Whereas you will have wasted away, you will have been discouraged, you will have been feeling that you are nobody. Just clicking a video, you can. The person that is even doing something may not even know that is touching life. He may not even know.
Nice.
It could take time. It could be 3 years after they put that online, that somebody just watched it and it was blessed. So that's one of those things. So we have challenges of data. We've been doing this since yesterday now, and we've been having issue with the data and all.
The day before yesterday.
The day before yesterday. Jesus Christ! Can you imagine?
It's on Saturday. This is Monday.
Can you imagine? We've been battling with data. So you can imagine what many of us will have achieved. This same data some people just put on Instagram and be doing sort of thing. In fact, online now I see a sort of video that are nonsensical. Anything in them to bless life that doesn't really make sense. And they'll just say that somebody did something, so somebody just speaks. He was standing in front of his and he speaks, and they'll put it on the news. They'll just put, and we have the content that will bless life. And probably some of us are not having data, and some of us that are having data putting online. Our people that are supposed to watch it, okay, like the program I was talking about, that motion for many people may not be able to afford to go to Lagos, probably because of work or finances or any other reasons. But now even to get data 500 or 1,000 naira may be difficult, and in the process they will be losing out of what is meant for their life, for their ministry to come to realization. And that is exactly what we are facing. So we have the issue of our different networks we have in Nigeria. They are not all that good, and they constrain us from achieving what we want to achieve. Another one is that even getting the finance to, like now you do every day now you do Facebook. If you calculate what you have been spending on
Facebook
data, for the past 1 or 2 years, you will have bought a car.
3 years. It's going to be 3 years September.
3 years. You will have bought a car. Or do you have a car now?
Sure.
Where's your car?
Sure. No, my car is here.
So the
it's
car,
on the way now.
So you are investing this on lives. You don't even watch. Currently, when you are doing it, you know that it's going to be there for those that need it. It could be only one soul. It could be only two. It will be only 3. We are not deterred. We keep doing those things. So then, data is one of those issues we are facing. Before I do a lot of things, the phone I'm using now, I have to go online. Okay, this is what I do. What is the closest and the cheapest that my pocket can afford that can still do it closely? I will use data, sir. I'll go on YouTube to develop myself on area. I'm not just sitting down. I'm putting phone. I'm sitting down with phone.
Exactly.
I will look for videos that will improve me and see some other things.
Yeah.
All these things that we use, some of these things we use lens.
Yeah, in case you. Yeah.
For phone, it's for phone. You attach it to a phone. In fact, when I saw it online, I used data to get all these things. It didn't come from heaven. Some people just say, where did you get this? I said, no, I sat down in my room and I think of, can there be lens like camera? Of course, there are some lenses like that, but they are very costly. Costlier than the phone. And bigger, huge. Yeah. So, Oguntaja is saying people find it difficult to key into something new until it's too late, or it is beyond.
It's too late.
Hey, my brother, God bless you. You and your brother Paul are doing great work, I tell you. And there is a private university in Nigeria. Oh, he's saying something here. Can you see it, brother Paul?
Yes.
He said, private university in Nigeria that reach.
There is a private university in Nigeria that reached out to me because they currently have a course on smartphone filmmaking. Wow. Same thing our people are condemning.
Wow.
Let not be discouraged. Don't give up. We are holding the future. We're going to be a reference point. We are all ready.
Wow.
We are ready.
God bless you, my brother.
That's it. and now to announce to the world that Sword of Excellent Drama Film University is the first university to teach smartphone filmmaking. And that is why we must not be slack. Another private university is already picking it as a course now. And they are contacting our beloved brother on smartphone filmmaking. It's a very good thing. When you start something, don't worry. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. The vision you don't realize. Sorry, because it's an holiday time. That's why you're hearing the voice of our beloved baby. And that's one of the challenges we are talking about the other time. The family also wants your attention. People, your extended family also need your attention. And because I know God wants to do something, you know, I told at the beginning, for 3 days, there have been serious challenges that we have never seen before in live broadcasting for this Facebook. And for the first time, I broke the rule. Something that's supposed to be done on is either Saturday or Sunday, and we added Monday. I've done the class in the morning. But we added Monday. When I got to the place to repair this thing, it was so difficult again. And I said, there is something God wants to do. And we have seen it now.
Yeah.
We are really seeing it now.
I'm very happy John Ogutache is coming on board. I'm very happy because those are the people that they are encouraging this dream. We have very few people that are standing by this issue of smartphone stuff. It's not that we don't do other things. Most of us do a lot of things.
Yes, now.
But do you know that this issue of smartphone, hey, Jesus is coming soon. No? In fact, I don't know how the structure of heaven will be. That so many people will be judged by the usage of their smartphone. Some are drama ministers. Before Jesus will come, or before they will die, they may never be able to afford a camera. They may never be able to shoot a film because of finances and reasons. But they will, when you get to heaven, the heaven will tell them that you have no excuse. You had your phone. You saw a training about smartphone. You discarded it because you had some people saying it's trash. You had the opportunity of giving the message I gave to you to the world, and you refused to do so. Many of us may be judged by the virtue of the device that is in our hand that we fail to appropriately use. And that is why God is raising few of us like this, not for our own self alone, to train people so that they won't have excuse. There are some messages, sir, that are so much touching life. I saw something online. I saw a red camera, a comparison with Away Pro 30. When I look at the footages, oh boy, the phone was, you won't believe it was his phone. You won't believe what.
Wow, the footage was very awesome.
It was very, very awesome. They put the two of them on the same dimba. They put it on drones. They put it different experiments. I say, hey, when I saw it, it was wow, 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 unedited. That was just the raw footage. Unedited. I saw it and it was. Now, by the time you use that, some people don't know that even with that kind of phone, you can come up with something so that. It's because you cannot afford something. So because the phone we are using, the MediaTek-based phone that we are using here, that is why some of us don't appreciate it. We say it's garbage. If those people, when you see what they do with their phones over there, when they use them, we shot a film recently now, Ijoba, and it's doing pretty well on Sean Jonathan's YouTube. The last time I checked, within 1 week, over 4,000 people have watched it. You can imagine the way the way life has been blessed. Now, what I want to say about Ijoba is this: Ijoba was shot with a standard camera and phone.